Hey there, this is Dax. I'm just wanting to spend some time today talking about an experience that I had the other night, and I was hoping that maybe someone else out there had had a similar experience, and maybe we could figure out what exactly happened here. It all started, I was meditating before going to bed, and this is something that I do quite often because yes, there is a danger of if you meditate and then go to bed, you can sometimes get in the habit of just, it's an association thing. You meditate and fall asleep, and that can become a danger when you're meditating. However, one thing that I've also found is that if you meditate before bed, then when you go to sleep, the meditation doesn't stop. You continue meditating in your sleep, and it goes on, and you get some benefit out of that. And so that's the reason why I was meditating before bed. And what I was meditating on is I've just been spending a lot of time lately trying to get in the mindset of universal, unconditional love. No matter who or what you're talking about, love. A lot more difficult than, it seems like it should be, but nevertheless, this is what I was meditating on, and I was intentionally targeting different things that either personally or culturally I have a very difficult time loving. I was focusing on things like, one thing I was focusing on was cockroaches, oddly enough, people who had done wrong. I was approaching it from a religious standpoint, figures that I'm not supposed to love. And I was going through all of this, and I would just picture the most despicable thing I could, and then focus on loving them for who they are. And as this proceeded, and I was doing this for like an hour. I'd been doing this for a little while now. And all of a sudden, I just had this weird sensation that something had just run up to me and popped me right on top of the head. It was a light pop, but with force. It's light but with purpose, I guess would be a better way of putting it. And I felt that, and when it happened, suddenly all my vision went white. There were a couple of things about this white that I saw in my vision. The first is that some part of me was jokingly calling it the white screen of death. I use a lot of computer terms to describe spiritual events because they seem to work. And there was some part of me that was applying that. This thing that I was saying was the white screen of death. But there was a humor to it. It wasn't scary or dangerous or anything like that. Part of me was getting a chuckle out of this. The other thing that I noticed about this white screen of death, this pure white that I saw, and I personally think this is probably the most important aspect of the entire experience, is that I could not think while I was seeing it. It's almost like the white was an anti-thought wall. And, I wasn't thinking, so I couldn't make a decision, but habit just kicked in and I worked through the problem. And eventually, after a few seconds, it faded away and everything was back to normal. But anyway, I was wondering if any one of you out there had experienced anything similar. And if you had, maybe we could discuss this and figure out what it was. In the meantime, I wish you well.